Excellent. Hello. Welcome. Powerhouse Smart friends and colleagues. Again, my favorite day. This is our Powerhouse Cool Collabs podcast, and I am always so blessed and honored to select from my personal network people that I think that fall under three categories. Number one, they are the coolest leaders, and today's guest fits beautifully. They believe in collaboration as well. And number two, they live with an attitude of gratitude. And then finally, they help humanity in many different ways. And we're going to learn all about that. This is a commutable podcast, so it's short and sweet. It always goes way too fast for me. But without further ado, I always like our guests to introduce themselves and share their story. I am so excited to have you in my podcast studio in my home. Welcome, Kim Lindquist from Edina Realty.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much for having me today and being a part of this. It's just an honor. And so thank you. And like you said, grateful and thankful every day. I just said that to a coworker a few minutes ago. A little bit about myself. I work, as you mentioned, for Edina Realty. I'm the Vice President of Corporate Services. Lucky enough to be able to come back to this amazing company 4 years ago. I had the opportunity. And gosh, Edina Realty has been in business over 70 years. We've been 26 consecutive years top in the market. So that's just amazing in itself. So before that, for 7.5 years, I was with HSA and American Home Shield Warranty Company. But before that, I was with Edina Realty for over 25 years. And you can kind of see behind me my 25-year plaque back there. And that's why I just feel so grateful and thankful. And, sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone. And not that I don't miss my family that I had with my other 7.5 years career. But I got to come back home. And that's been one of the biggest things for me is coming back home. And like you said, so many people within this company live with that gratitude every day. And really, servant hearts is really one of the biggest thing is I love helping our agents. And that's what I get to do every single day that since I've come back this last 4 years. And that's really the biggest thing that keeps me going each and every day. And I started, at Edina Realty 33 years ago. I went to answer phones to help a friend of mine out when a temp agency didn't show up. I moved over to a listing sales coordinator, moved over to an office administrator, and I was lucky enough to do that for 16.5 years. And like I said, now just in a different capacity. I help on the relocation side of the business here with Edina Realty. I do the commercial side of the business. I'm lucky enough to be on a team with the Exceptional Properties, our luxury division of it. And then also I'm kind of a liaison between some of the wonderful tools that we get to offer our agents. So I really get to do a lot of different things on a daily basis. And then the thing I love the most is I get to go to the offices. We have almost like 55 offices. I get to go to those offices and share, with the agents what I do and how I can help them in their business. And that's like what you said, grateful and thankful. And I just try to give back to all of the agents that have helped me in my career with Edina Realty. So that's just a little bit about myself.
Just a lot of it. I mean, a lot of incredible success in the real estate world. And when you said 33 years, I mean, you must have been a baby when you started in the industry.
Absolutely, I was.
Did you like graduate high school and decide, I'm going to get in real estate? How did you get into real estate? Because people ask me that all the time. Why would I get into real estate?
Absolutely. No, I hadn't really thought about real estate until, again, my friend had called 33 years ago and asked for my help. And that, I guess it was my calling. And like I said, I've never really left that world then, just kind of veered a little bit for the 7.5 years and did the home warranty side of it. But really, it was something that kind of just fell into my lap. And I just kept going with it because it ended up to be kind of a passion of really not selling the real estate, but really just helping the agents that do. And that's kind of what brought me to it.
Well, I love that you are serving. I mean, you're serving other colleagues, your real estate agents in the industry. So I have a couple questions for our audience because, we of course we are available and hope to continue to grow with people that are even just interested in luxury design, construction, and real estate. But a lot of the people that tell me all the time that they listen to our podcast, they learn so much from every guest. Someone like you is sharing your wisdom with a deep knowledge of the real estate world. And they could be builders, they could be architects, they could be new college grads, and they're really not sure where or why. And so I always like to hear from you. You know, it's changed so much over 33 years. What would you recommend to someone who says, well, why would I get my real estate license? And if I wouldn't get my real estate license, why do I need to build relationships with realtors, even if I'm not looking to buy or sell?
Absolutely, because you can get your real estate license, and we have agents. Most of them are full-time agents, but we do have part-time agents here and there as well that maybe have to work on the career they're at with right now, but can slowly get out of that career and have real estate as their business, a
Yeah.
choice of business. And so, and we just have an amazing training department here within Edina Realty. We call it Edina U. It Jill Griffith just does an amazing job in that, and just helping our agents, whether they be new to real estate or have transferred from another company, just giving them that knowledge of what we have available to them as agents, how we can help them with their business. And another thing that we do too is all of the senior leadership too is local. We're right here, everybody's right here from, I sit next to Sherry Schmidt, our CEO and president of the company. And we are out at meetings, we are out at offices. I think that matters to a lot of people.
Yes.
The collaboration, the having the office to go to, having meeting new people, new friends. And the biggest thing that I think I love about our agents that we have in with Edina Realty is they're always helping each other. And in sometimes in real estate that doesn't always happen, but with our company it does. I was at a sales meeting yesterday, and everybody within the room was collaborating together, and they work in that same area. And again, sometimes people don't do that because they don't want to share their talents or their secrets or things that they do to gain their business. But that's been one of the biggest things that I've noticed with our company is that they're always willing to help each other. Like I said, new agents that are coming into the company. And that's really special.
Total, absolutely. I mean, in my past life, I was a real estate agent first before I got to be before I became a builder, and I went with a company that was local here in the Illinois area, and for the same reasons that Edina is so attractive and so important is beautiful, local leadership, very involved in, guiding and being a part of helping everyone, as well as an excellent training department is critical. So I love that. And no wonder, I knew that we were kindred spirits from our first connection. And actually, Sherry was one of our speakers at our first luxury conference. We
It
loved
was,
having her.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she was great. And then you also introduced me to Heather Hansen. Now tell me what's going on there, because we were just talking about Minnesota, but how's that? What's happening there?
Sure. So our coverage area originally has been Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. That's where we've always had our offices. But not long ago, we opened an office down in Naples, Florida. So we now cover from Sarasota all the way down to Marco Island. And Heather Hansen is the broker down there and is trying to get involved as well with PowerHouse Smart because she knows how important it is. And she is that same person too, with the gratitude, with giving back, always wanted to help her community and stay, well connected, but really how she can help. That's why I really enjoy working with her as well, and why I wanted to introduce her to you.
That's great. Well, congratulations on that expansion,
Thank you.
and also Wisconsin is a huge opportunity as well. We just had a great partnership call with local media, which has I think 13 or 14 magazines in the whole Minnesota and Wisconsin area, and very connected with real estate, and we will definitely have to work together on those fronts and collaborating and making sure we cover some of the other new areas besides, of course, Twin Cities, and what we know is Lake Minnetonka, and and Edina, and all those titles. But yeah, we're really excited. Yeah, go ahead.
Like you said, it's about collaboration and like getting to know. Sometimes you don't know why you're going to meet that person with a different company, or they do something different than you do. But it's funny how it all kind of comes full circle at one time or another of when you might need each other or when you can learn things from each other. And that's why, again, with that magazine, we have a lot of agents that utilize that. And there's one for the St. Croix area, and we have agents that put their properties in there. So again, it's all about that collaboration together.
Absolutely. So for local builders, custom home builders and remodelers, and this is now 20 years since I've started the Powerhouse Smart community. I would have still then and often today builders saying, well, why is it, Wendy, that you invite and you want the real estate community to come to our community relationship building events? And of course, I feel like I'm speaking to the choir here, but share with me how that's working in Minnesota with your agents, really how they help interior designers and builders and remodelers.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of our agents at many of our different offices that work for really high-end builders within Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities, even northern Minnesota into Wisconsin. And they are helping those builders, sell those properties. And sometimes the builders will do that on their own. We absolutely get that. But most of the time, they're really seeing the value in the agents that are representing them. Because with Edina Realty, we do some things differently, and we can a lot of times bring a lot of agents to those model homes to see those properties. And then it's not maybe always the agent that has it listed or is repping that buyer, but it's one of our other agents that may bring a buyer in, or it's that agent that is representing that buyer that brings a buyer in as well. But we just have so much collaboration that a lot of times the builders are seeing the value in agents representing them to bring those additional clients to purchase those properties.
Yep, I love it. I love it. And that's what we keep trying, and we're working together on that in Minnesota with the Powerhouse Smart. And thank you for joining and being a part of that, and in Naples, and that collaboration, and just getting over the education of how we can help one another. And honestly, I always say to the builders and the interior designers, these agents not only could list your homes and sell your homes or bring you buyers, but they're also on the front line with the consumer. And
Absolutely. And then as you said, interior decorators and people that sell high-end furniture, they collaborate and bring all of those, those people with those skills and those wonderful companies that they have. They bring them to the builder, and then all of a sudden it's a collaboration again of how they can work and stage that home and do different things to help each other.
right, and also a lot of times a builder needs a lot or a piece of property or a development. And again, I used to, as a builder, I worked with realtors, and I'd have 10 different realtors come to a meeting and learn what we're doing as a company, and then they'd each report about the area that they're specializing in and share with everyone else what's going on in that town and in that town. So much opportunity for ongoing relationship building and referrals back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. And gaining that knowledge of what's going on in different areas, as you mentioned as well, too. So that
Exactly.
knowledge.
Exactly. So you touched on something earlier, and I put it down in my head. I said, oh, I got to hear this. And of course, I'm sure you get this all the time. What are the newest tools that you are providing your agents, especially given AI? What's going on? I always say to the builders, architects, and interior designers, landscapers, follow the real estate community. They're ahead of the game in marketing. So tell us what's going on. What new tools?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So these is something that we were working on. David Schmidt does an amazing job with doing webinars on training our agents. AI is a big thing. We absolutely know that. But AI is important, but still that personal touch is important. And gone to several conferences lately where they've touched on that. Our agents will always be important to their clients because it always comes down to those relationships and those personal touches. But yes, we always have things in play for our agents, co-pilot within, the email, different things. They can ask it to do different things, to write some information about the property, to explain it to the clients. But again, our agents are always going through that and making sure it makes sense. And because, ChatGPT and Copilot, they're not always 100% right.
Right.
And so our agents are very diligent on that, and they will never forget that it's always still that personal touch with that client.
Yeah.
But definitely there's always something new with AI coming. And again, David is always on the front line of finding out what's new and how we can help our agents with that, and help them do their business even better than they already are.
Yeah, that's absolutely. They're not going to be replaced because it's like you said, that personal touch, and those are the kinds of jobs that are going to be saved even with AI. Anything where there's that consultation where you have an expert, it's not just the data that you could research on the internet. It's personality, it's personal guidance given unique circumstances and families, and everyone has a unique circumstance, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Is what the newest tools that you came up with, is it saving the brokers time, or is it what are the
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any of the AI that's out there, Copilot, ChatGPT, lots of things. There's a few of them that can do videos where you can just put your picture on there. You can put the text in there. You can record your voice, and then it just does it all for you. It's called Hey Gen. There's a lot of different things out there that are helping. There's some of them out there that can do PowerPoint presentations for our agents and for even employees within the company. So there's a lot of things that can help save time for sure. Absolutely. So you can be
Great.
doing other things. But one of the biggest things that I need to do is business development on that relocation side is, getting that additional business for our agents. That's really important for me to do weekly, monthly, as often as I can to get out there to get those additional incoming leads for our agents, for sure.
So explain that to me a little bit more, Kim. I know you're the vice president of corporate services, and that's in relocation. And I found as I was getting ready for today and doing actually the last couple weeks, and I noticed that you're on a relocation website, you're here and there. What exactly do you do for relocation, and how does that work?
Sure, absolutely. I have an amazing team of three that are part of the team. Lisa's been with us 15 years. Deborah's been with us 5. Brandon's almost 2 years. And they all have different areas that they work on the relocation side of it. We do outgoing referrals for our agents each year. We do incoming. And then we work with relocation management companies that are out there that work with big corporations. We have a lot of those relationships with a lot of the corporations that are within Minneapolis, Twin Cities, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and now kind of working with some in Southwest Florida. So for me, it's that business development side. It's really growing those relationships with some of the corporate clients and sharing why it's important or why we would like them to work with us and our amazing agents. So that's really something that I try to work on quite often. And then really going to the conferences, as I mentioned, just got back from an amazing conference with Serva, and we partner with them as well. And just getting to know all the people that work there personally too. Again, for me, it always comes down to relationships and building those relationships. Everybody that works there and all the RMCs that we work with, they want to get to know me and my team as well. Before they work with you, they have to know who they're working with. And then we help them get those connections and relationships with our agents as well.
So you actually get the companies that are looking to have their employees, their executives, who are relocating, have the services available, and then you work with your internal broker agents, and you have them assigned. So is that correct?
Yep, we make those connections, and a lot of the companies right now are moving a lot of their C-suite and executives back into the offices closer to it. Some of them moved, a couple states away, and now they're having them move back because a lot of people want that collaboration back of people being in the office. So we're really seeing that an uptick in that as people, again, it's that collaboration. It's working together across the table, across the desk. As you can see, I'm in the office. I'm in the office usually 4 days a week. It's important to be able to walk down the hall to talk to people. And that's what we want to do. We want to get those connections with our agents. And the biggest thing that we work on is connecting the right agent. that's what's really important to that transferee. That transferee has so much going on in their lives at that time. They're leaving where they were comfortable. They're maybe leaving a company that they were comfortable with to a new company. There's a lot that goes on in a family that has to follow behind, and kids that may have to leave a high school that they loved and sports that they loved. That's our biggest thing, is that's what my team does. That's what our managers do, is they try to find that perfect agent to that transferee that's coming in, so they get the best service that they can, and that the agent goes above and beyond of making that transition smooth and easy. And really, in the end, it almost becomes a friend for life, because when you go through something like that and an agent is out there helping you with things that they probably don't need to help you with, and help that transferee with, but they do because it comes from their heart. And that's amazing.
Oh, I can definitely see where that's critical. Like it becomes almost like, they intimately know your family and all the nuances. So, Kim, being on the servicing your agent side as opposed to being an agent itself, what's if I'm thinking about getting into real estate, why would I want to be, what would be the pros and cons of being on your side, which is really more on the management side, or being out there, boots on the ground, working with the consumers?
Sure. A lot of people want to do that being a realtor. They can make their own hours, but they have it as they're independent brokers. So, that's the difference sometimes too, is they want to, but they work a lot of weekends, and that can be difficult too. I do have my real estate license, so I can lead the relocation team. Really happy to have that. A couple of years ago, I took that training after being in real estate for, almost 30 years. So happy I could do that. You can do real estate if you're, young in your 20s, and you can do real estate as even I could, as I get older, in my second phase or third phase or whatever of your life. Real estate, we have agents that have been with the company for over 40 years. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It just becomes that career. No matter what you do in the real estate side of it, it's who you are. It's in your blood. I just feel like I can't imagine doing anything else besides something that's real estate related.
Right, right. Well, I love that, you believe in collaboration and what you said, it's all about people and relationships. And even when you described your team, you know how many years they've been with you, you know about them, you care about them. It's so obvious. So, what advice would you give our listeners on their journey about living with an attitude of gratitude and trying to get themselves to a point where they feel like they've had success in their life, whatever it might be?
Yeah, I think that's what I've always had, but I think it comes from somewhere. And I was lucky enough to spend this last weekend. Oh, I'm gonna get teary eyed. My mom is 90, and we got to take her to Florida this last for 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. We lost my dad about a year ago here this month, and it comes from them. I think you learn it, and I definitely learned it. My mom's always been grateful and thankful for everything. And, their younger years weren't easy. My younger years weren't easy. But if you work hard and you give, you get to receive. And I think that's one of the biggest things is I'll keep giving forever, because you always get good things back. And it's not the reason why you do it.
Hmm.
It's just what happens.
That's right.
And so I think it's learned a lot of times from how you grow up and who you grow up with. And lucky enough to have two older sisters and an older brother, and we love to be together, and laughter is a big part of it, and just memories are more important than a lot of the material things that are out there nowadays. And I think you learn that, as I've aged a little bit, I think that comes even more. But yeah.
I think it's innate in you. It probably started when you were very little and you didn't realize you had such a huge heart. So, Kim, the people that are listening to this, they're going to want to know, how can I reach out to Kim? How can I get connected to her? Is she open to that? What would you recommend?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't have people that offered that to me. So absolutely. I'm always available. Kim Lindquist, Lindquist, at edinarealty.com. Just send me a quick email. I'm on LinkedIn as well, on Facebook as well. Always here to help in any way that I can. Love to give back. So absolutely.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. I will have all the links below here from this podcast when this goes live. And I do highly recommend that if you're listening to this and you're not even sure what it is that you might have in common with Kim that might lead to future synergies, but you're interested in meeting her and learning more. I've told my kids and I tell the next generation of leaders that I talk with all the time that we're here to be at least people I connect with like you, Kim, that are in my network and in my family. We're mentors. We're here to be here, answer your questions, help guide you, answer some of the tough questions that you might not feel comfortable asking everyone, or you're not even sure what the question is, but you just know that you're at a crossroads and you'd love some guidance, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. More than willing to help always.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to have lots of fun stuff together. We're going to see you. I know there's a bunch of events coming up. There's a Cambria event on Tuesday, May 26th, with some awesome speakers. We have the Minnesota Luxury Conference happening on November 4th. We'll see you there. And then we have a Hard Hat Project tour that is going to be virtual, meaning it's in the studio at Bell Kitchen on September 23rd. But while I have you here, I'm going to put a little bug in your ear to remember if you've got one of your brokers has a really spectacular project under construction. It could be a pre-sold or it could be a spec home. We love getting our architects, builders, and designers for a 1 hour tour led by those architects, builders, and designers so we can touch and feel what's happening in the world, what's new in construction, what's new in, siting a property and lakefront, estates, etc. So keep that in mind.
I've got a few builders right in mind already. So absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I'm so thrilled to have you in my business network. I'm so glad I was introduced to you, and thank you for connecting me to Heather. And there's so much more to come for all of us. I wish you all the very best. Namaste, my dear friend.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.